Hi, everybody. Let's try this again. Welcome to Worlds Collide, episode 26. My
Yep.
name is Mitch,
And I'm Justin.
and today's episode we're going to be covering John Constantine. We're going to be going over the character's origin. We're going to be going over his appearances in other media outside of the comics, and we're also going to go over some notable stories for you guys to check out.
There's a lot to cover.
There is a lot to cover. Surprisingly so, because comparatively to a lot of superheroes, he is a newer character.
Would you even classify him as a superhero?
Sure. He's a hero.
He's a hero.
He's pretty super.
Alright. See, I have a lot of other labels I'd give him.
Yeah.
You know, exorcist, detective, magician.
That's all on this greeting card.
It's a good resume.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a long list.
Well, yeah, so John Constantine's been around since 1985, but compared to like Superman, Batman, and all these other characters, he's not very well known to the public.
Well, yeah, plus those guys got 40, 50 years on them, too. But
Well, yeah.
in that context, yeah, you say, hey, you know, the Avengers or whatever. Probably heard of them. Even Spider-Man, you know, characters like that. You've heard of them.
Yeah.
Even the villains, Doctor Doom. But John's kind of more elusive.
Yeah, well, because first of all, he doesn't wear a costume.
Nope.
Costume is a trench coat.
Yep. You know what? John Constantine has basically been portrayed by Castiel for many years. In a
Yes.
way.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, for any Supernatural fans out there.
Yeah, we've had John with us for a long time.
Yeah,
Just under a different name.
But yeah, most people would know Constantine from the Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah.
But most people who would have seen the Constantine movie probably didn't even know that it was based on a comic.
Yeah, like when I first watched it, I did not.
No.
It was news to me after that, oh, this is a comic? Like,
Yeah.
and it was years after before I still knew.
Yeah.
I just wasn't paying attention. I don't even know if DC is mentioned anywhere on the movie.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Somewhere.
Vertigo would have been mentioned.
Of course. Well, it's
Yeah.
surprised you mentioned Vertigo there. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of where he gets his stardom.
Yeah. So John Constantine is an exorcist, a warlock, and an occasional dabbler in the dark arts, and also a con artist. He's a liar and a trickster, but he's a good guy. He is a hero. He has a good heart, but he does deals. He does make deals with devils to do good things. So he's not very well liked within the superhero community.
Well, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
He kind of toes the line on, you know, like, he's not as bad as the Punisher, just straight up killing people all the time.
No. Yeah, no. He, given the chance, he prefer not to kill.
Exactly. What he does is for the sake of good.
That's right.
But he will use bad for good.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, so John Constantine. Let me get my notes here, people. Sorry about that.
Well, his first run was the Hellblazer line here, right? Original Sin.
That is his first run. So yes, Hellblazer was his first solo series, but his introduction was actually in Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people might have checked out the Swamp Thing show. It got critical reviews, even though it got canceled before even finishing the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But John Constantine got his start in Swamp Thing.
I think it was issue 37.
Issue 37, 1985.
Yes.
So when he first started off, he started off as an advisor, a help for Swamp Thing. He pretty much spoke for Swamp Thing. He does some really weird things for Swamp Thing as well. Like, he even let Swamp Thing possess his body to have sex with his human wife. And also to conceive Swamp Thing a child.
Well, there was a time where Swamp Thing tried killing John, too, because basically the connection to Swamp Thing and the human he was inhabiting, he became just Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Right? The only reason it was always good with Constantine was because of the human interaction still.
Yeah.
Of the character. So, like, at one point, when Swamp Thing was dying, and there needed to be a new Swamp Thing, it almost was going to be John.
Yeah.
He
See, that I didn't know. That's cool.
Yeah, John almost became Swamp Thing at one point. Like, You're now Swamp Thing. And he actually had to go and trick Batman and Superman into helping him. Fix the whole Swamp Thing problem.
Neat.
They had to actually go and deal with the green and the different levels, layers.
You'll notice that's a theme for this character. He does a lot of trickery. He tricks a lot of people.
Yeah, because they didn't want to help him.
No.
Like at first, I think John goes to Batman, and Batman's getting told about Swamp Thing's condition and this and that. He's like, well, yeah, come help me. And he's just backhands him. He's like, no, piss off.
Yeah.
Whatever he did, he like, did his magic and tricked him into helping him. Convinced him, yeah, you have to do it
anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so his origin in the comics was that this is like to give you a little flavor of who John Constantine is. His origin's kind of messed up. And that's saying something for comic book characters. So
it's dark. It's twisted.
With a pun in there. So his mom died at childbirth. Also, his stillborn twin brother. So his mom was pregnant with twins. John Constantine is a twin, but his mom died when he was born with his twin brother also dying. And the reason why was because before she was pregnant with John, she was pregnant with another one and was forced into an early abortion by her husband because they didn't want the child. So that damaged the womb, and that's why she ended up dying during childbirth for John. Now, to add even more twist to this...
Yeah, how does twin brother die?
Apparently, in their room, John Constantine killed his own twin brother with the umbilical cord.
He strangled him to death.
Yes.
Go, John.
That's messed up.
Well, later we have to deal with John separating his soul from his twin brothers because they're still fused, and there's a whole lot to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he got rid of his brother there, but no. All he did was basically bond his soul to himself.
Yeah.
Got rid of the body.
Yeah.
Soul still bond.
Yeah. But right from the get-go, he was cursed.
Yes.
So his father and John and his father did not get along. Like, John's father blamed him for the death of his wife.
Yes.
And John resented his father for being a drunken asshole who kept on beating him up and beating up his...
This one's for your mother.
Yeah, pretty much. So they don't like each other. His dad's an asshole. But John is an asshole because his father was an asshole to him. Because John, most characters will describe John as a wanker, an asshole. That's the other thing. John is English. So, for people who were a fan of the Keanu Reeves movie, he is actually English, not American, or Canadian, I guess. But yeah. He also has a sister named Cheryl, an older sister. Don't know much about her, but I know he's got an older sister named Cheryl.
Yeah, she's not mentioned too much.
Yeah. And so at an early age, he got into the mystic arts. He started reading up on the dark arts and whatnot. And I found out that his first spell ever, his first time experimenting with magic...
Killed his dad, didn't he?
No.
Oh, that was later.
That was later, no. His first spell he cast was... he took his innocence and his childhood innocence and vulnerability and hid it in a box. So like that, he, at a young age, he was no longer innocent and oblivious as a child would. He hid along the box so he could be more mature and be able to be ready for the future that he's going to embark in.
Basically, turn his will to iron and remove all fear and be ready to face demons of hell.
Yeah. So he became a cynic at the age of 6.
Yeah. I don't need this. Put it in a box.
Yeah. So, he ended up moving to, I forgot where in England, but somewhere in England, let's say London. But that's where he got himself an apartment, and he ended up getting a roommate who became his lifelong best friend, Francis Chaz Chandler.
Yeah.
So Chaz was portrayed in the Keanu Reeves movie by the Beef, the Shea the Beef, the Buff.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm like, who the hell are you talking about? Shot? Yeah, the old taxi cab driver. And you see him in the series as well.
The series as well. I like more the series Chaz over the beef.
I don't think you got enough episodes in, but at one point, Chaz dies and he comes back to life.
Yeah, well, he did that like the first episode. You see him with the possessed electrical line that goes through his body, and then like the next day he comes back and he's alive again.
Maybe I forgot about that time, but yeah, he does it again where he gets stabbed to death in an alley and he comes back like, what's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read anything in the comments about Chaz having any kind of curse that keeps him alive, but it makes sense because John Constantine, everybody around him dies horribly.
But Chaz.
Well,
he keeps dying horribly and coming back.
Yes. But that's the only way somebody could survive being John's
best friend.
Is to be cursed to be ever living.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some more research on that and answer that in one of our later episodes where we kind of touch back on what ifs and answer laters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, Constantine, this was taking place in the 70s.
Okay.
And during the 70s, John Constantine got introduced to the Sex Pistols and became a fan of punk rock. So John started his own punk band under the name Johnny Conjob. And his band, his punk group name was called Mucous Membrane.
Great name.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he makes reference of that band in his show, and also he also makes a reference to Mucous Membrane in Legends of Tomorrow as well.
They're back to the band days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do some band references. Oh, something about getting the band back together.
Yeah. And that's on purpose, because if you'll notice, he kind of looks familiar.
Why is that?
Because the artist really was a huge fan of the Police, and he really wanted to bring Sting to the comic world. So when he was tasked to create John Constantine, he drew him to look exactly like Sting.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good rendition.
Yeah. So that's also why he's big into punk rock and whatnot. Why he's always wearing the suit and the half-done tie and the trench coat and the short bleach blonde hair and he's Sting.
Basically.
Yeah.
To pray.
Yeah.
Good old John.
Yeah. He was also since his first appearance was in Swamp Thing, that means his creator was Alan Moore.
Yes. And then he's been portrayed by a bunch of different artists since then, though.
Oh yeah. But he was in Swamp Thing for a few issues, but so his first appearance was 1985. Then he got his first series, this one right here,
the Hellblazer.
Hellblazer, which launched in 1988.
And that's 3 years Vertigo.
Later. Yes, but not originally. So Vertigo didn't start until 1993.
Now Vertigo is part of DC.
Yes.
Okay, but it's kind of like a standalone, separate area, not universe, but area.
That's right. So as a matter of fact, so DC Vertigo was used to launch off-meta comics, is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
So, like, if anybody who's watching this have seen 30 Days of Night.
Mm-hmm. That was a comic.
That was a Vertigo comic.
Good one, too.
Yeah. I think that 300 was under Vertigo.
Really?
I think so.
Like the Spartan?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was Vertigo. But Hellblazer for sure, Vertigo. The Hellblazer was actually Vertigo's longest lasting comic name.
Yeah. Like single line,
yeah.
Swamp Thing, obviously.
Yeah. So, you had regular DC continuity, which had Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Arrow, the flashy superheroes and the flashy supervillains. And then Vertigo had the demonologist, exorcist, John Constantine.
They had the blend into society type.
Yeah, well,
kind of into nature, into society.
Exactly, yeah. Because Swamp Thing is a aspect of nature. It's an elemental. So
If controls the green or
Yeah,
is
the
powered
green.
by the green.
yeah, he is the green.
He is the green.
Yeah.
And can you elaborate on the green?
The green is anything that is life. So from plants to algae to grass to trees to anything that could be considered plant or
Living.
Yeah, living really. That's the green.
Okay.
Yeah, and Swamp Thing controls it.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, yeah.
Now there's other colors too though. Is there not the red? There's the
Yeah, I don't know much about it. We'd
Okay.
have to do an episode on Swamp Thing to
okay.
really know
So
about
yeah, I
all
know
this.
there's a couple different layers of.
But I do
life.
know that Poison Ivy is now a part of the green.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, John dabbles in a lot of convoluted, kind of weird stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, like, he's an exorcist, but he'll summon demons to help him fight other demons. He'll trade his soul for magical spells to protect himself and others.
Well, that's funny you say that. His soul is already in fragments. Is it
Oh, yeah.
not?
Oh, yeah. I'll go over that in the notable stories, but yeah, he's his soul is really meaningless to him, really.
Yeah. He uses it like a sack of gold.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Take a few.
Yeah,
Part of it just claw out parts of my soul. I'll just take it.
pretty much. So,
I'll get it later. Like.
So you have, like, in Marvel, you have Doctor Strange, who throws magic around willy-nilly. He is the Sorcerer Supreme. And John Constantine, I don't know if I'd rank him as powerful as Doctor Strange, but he's pretty powerful. But John Constantine's magic comes with a cost.
Oh, every time.
Yeah.
Every time, and he says it over
Yeah.
and over. He's like, "Well, whatever I do, it's there's a cost."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually, the cost is someone dying.
Yeah.
A friend of his.
Yeah.
Dark magic is what you get.
Yep. But yeah, so while Vertigo was in print, there was a regulation or rule or an agreement, I guess, that made that Constantine and all these other Vertigo characters could not be part of the main DC continuity. So, like Swamp Thing and John
That's
Constantine.
why they stayed in Vertigo.
That's why a lot of people don't know much about these characters, because they've been around since 1985. There was never a team up of Batman and John Constantine until 2011.
Yeah.
So in 2011, that's when that ban was lifted, and now John Constantine and Swamp Thing and all these other characters can now join the DC main continuity.
Yeah, the floodgates are lifted, and in they come. That's why we're getting him in. Well, obviously, Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
Right? He's getting his own TV show.
Yeah.
I've heard rumor of there being a Constantine 2 movie.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know about that either, but like I said, rumor.
yeah, I like Keanu. I've said this on this podcast before. I think Keanu Reeves is awesome, but I don't want another Keanu Reeves Constantine. But I want a Constantine English, and
That's fair.
and
Well, there's the season 2 of the show.
oh, there is a season.
Yeah,
2.
there'll be a season 2 coming out, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That'd
So
be nice.
So that'll be good.
Yeah.
I still got a couple episodes left to finish season 1 here. Probably 5 left, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But where I got to, I'm pretty impressed with so far.
Yeah.
Really good job with the character. Like, I like the actor.
Yeah.
It's all of his, the essences of John, he depicts well.
It's creepy. I only watched the first 2 episodes, but like I watched all 15 seasons of Supernatural, and the first episode of John
Right.
Constantine was way creepier than anything Supernatural. Even though like Supernatural's not creepy, it's not even a horror. I wouldn't even consider it a horror. It's more of an action drama.
Yes.
But John Constantine is a horror. Well, sort of. It's not.
Thriller.
It's thriller. Yeah. It's some of the imagery is unsettling.
It's straight out of, what the hell movie is it? The Ring? The girl's like walking back. No, not The Ring, but yeah, it's like a horror movie where she's like upside down walking at you and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that pilot was pretty good.
Yeah.
Someone who likes, is this the same Constantine as the movie? Keanu Reeves one? No, so in the show, it's a different actor. it's always the same character based off the comics, John Constantine.
So, but yeah, so to answer your question, yes, the character we're talking about today, John Constantine, is the same character from the movies from that was starring Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
But the show is not Keanu Reeves. No, the show.
It's a different actor entirely, but he does a much better job depicting the true John Constantine, I'd say. And he crosses over and gets a few episodes on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, he's a reoccurring character in Legends of Tomorrow in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So
he's doing well in 2 different shows. Yeah. We might see him in a few more with all the ones that, who was it, Hulu, Disney, they have a bunch of shit coming out.
Yeah. So some more interesting facts that I read up on Constantine. Empire Records, I guess. I don't know. Empire did a top 50. I think Empire might be like an English magazine.
Probably.
But they did a top 50 greatest comic book characters, and they ranked John Constantine number 3 out of 50.
I bet Captain Britain was one.
Probably. But then IGN did a top 100 comic book characters, and he ranked 29
still
out of 100.
Good. Yeah, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, and even more impressively, Wizard magazine, Wizard did a top 200 comic book characters of all time.
What was his number?
He ranked 10, and
Jesus.
top 200 comic book characters of all time. So yeah, that's another like testament to the character. Like, he's such an intriguing character, and he's got a lot of dimensions and worthwhile reading.
Yes.
I was reading my buddy Alex. Shout out to Alex if he's watching. He lent me all these trades, and I was reading this one here. It's very wordy, but it's very well written, and the visuals are great. I was really enjoying what I was reading. It's definitely worth checking out. If you see a Hellblazer trade, and if you're interested in reading up on this character, I recommend it. A great character. He's very dynamic, and there's a reason why he's ranked so high on these lists. But it's a shame that not a lot of people know who he is, but it's because of that Vertigo DC thing. Now that he's actually part of the main continuity, and he's got these shows and movies and whatnot, he's getting a little bit more popularity of the people outside of fans of Vertigo. More publicity, thank you. Yes.
It's just, if you keep a character in the dark, how the hell is anyone ever going to know about him?
Exactly.
Right? If you're not publicizing it, if you're not talking about it, if you're not showing it, if you're not writing new stuff. Like, they did the same thing to Shazam / Captain Marvel. Yeah. Right? They locked him in a footlocker and kicked him away for 40 years.
Yeah, he was put away in obscurity. He was used as like a B-rate Superman.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And, like, his movie is still probably one of my favorite DC movies that they've done.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the Shazam movie.
Yeah.
And then as far as, John Constantine goes, it's good. He's a relatable character. It's, how many Exorcist movies, how many horror movies are there? And this is an actual show that they... You know how hard it is to get a horror show right?
Yeah. Yeah,
and have it be interesting and, like...
This is making a superhero out of the person who exorcises the demons out of people.
Yeah. Like, they've done, like, 8 or 9 different... Exorcist of Emily Rose, or The Exorcist, or The Exorcist, whatever. John
Constantine would come in and just bitch slap all these.
He'd be like, "Shut up, get out of here."
But yeah, so I also wrote down his ally. So Chaz is listed as one of his best friend.
And he's usually seen as a taxi driver of some sort.
Yeah, not really, not in the comics. In the comics, it's just his friend that John will call up for help once in a while. He's not as a sidekick as he's shown in the show or in the movie.
Yeah, he's like always there. He's just like right-hand man.
Yeah, he's not like that in the comics.
Okay.
But he is always available for John. Like, John calls him up, he needs something, he'll show up to help him out, kind of thing. Exactly.
Okay, good.
Exactly. Papa Midnight is also one of his allies. In a show...
Fights him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they have that relationship in the comics. Like, they don't like each other,
but they work together. But
Papa Midnight's not a bad guy. He's badder than John Constantine.
He's a voodoo priest.
Yeah.
Is he not?
Yeah. Which means he sacrifices living people and chickens and animals and just living things to do his dark arts. But
he's really sacrifices.
But he's really powerful, and he does do good things. Like, he does help fight the cause against demons.
Yes, and even when he's doing bad magic, he's not meaning to.
No.
There's an episode in the show where he's trying to reconnect people with their lost loved ones. So he's basically trying to summon their spirits or ghosts to talk with them and, come hang out or re-inhabit their body. And so, for example, the one woman lost her husband and he brought him back and he's living at home. They're back to normal. I'm so happy my husband's home, and he's leeching her soul. He's just sucking her energy, draining her dry. Like she's dying as this thing's coming back. It's like it's like a ghost entity that's just sucking the living dead. So he doesn't realize this at first, and when John comes in and he's like, you know what your magic's doing? He's like, no, I'm helping people. Like I'm doing good. Fuck off, John. And then he has to go and inspect it for himself. He has to go and get first-hand view of, oh shit, this isn't what I wanted, right? Because he goes and visits the house. He sees the woman, sees that she's sick and coughing and dying, and this thing's just like succubus sucking its soul. He goes back and he's like, all right, John, fuck you. Let's just fix this.
See, and that's their relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, because like in the episode prior, he's making a voodoo doll of John setting on fire, being like, you fucked with my business,
Yeah.
So he's a businessman. That's the thing with Papa Midnight.
Yes.
Now
his business is in money laundering, drugs, gambling, hookers. Like he's very much a criminal.
Yes.
So like Batman would go after him. Batman would see him as a villain. But Papa Midnight helps fight against evil demons, evil creatures.
So he's a decent ally,
Yes.
but not teammate.
No. No. Like, a lot of people don't like John Constantine. A lot of comic characters don't like Constantine because he comes off as a dick. Papa Midnight is borderline evil.
I'd say kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he usually has some kind of gang or establishment or some kind of power. So it's not just Papa Midnight you're dealing with.
No. He's got thugs and he's got money and he's got weapons and
resources. He's
formidable. Yeah.
John's usually going to him for help.
Yeah. Swamp Thing, also one of his best friends and allies. Mm-hmm. And Zatanna as well. They actually had a romance as well.
Now she's strong.
Yes, she is strong.
She is a very strong magician.
Yeah.
Did she teach him any spells?
I don't quite know. Their magic works differently. Because Zatanna, she creates magic. Her magic is, she can pretty much make anything happen as long as she says what she wants to do backwards. Whereas John, he has to study rituals and dark magic, and his is more based off of demonology.
His is practice and study and theory.
Right. That's right. Whereas Zatanna is more practice, the ability to be able to say things backwards. As long as she could say it backwards, she could make it happen.
That's wild magic.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people have said, like, Zatanna versus Hulk, Zatanna would destroy Hulk. Because all she has to say is revert back to Banner, or revert back to human, or whatever, along those lines, backwards, and he goes back to being human.
And does she just have to say the words in reverse order, or the actual letters?
The actual letters.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's not as easy as you think. Pretty much. That's what it comes out sounding like.
She's just mumbling.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. But she's
the first mumble rapper.
But yeah, so they met. So in the original story, they met in San Francisco. But after the New 52, that became New York. Who's counting? Who gives a shit, really?
One city, another city.
That's right.
They met. Okay.
That's right. That's the other thing. Like, Batman has Gotham. Superman has Metropolis. Green Lantern has. I'm forgetting Green Lantern's home city.
There's Star City. And there's...
Well, Star City is Flash, and Star City is Arrow, and Flash is.
Fuck is it?
Anyways, they have their own make-believe
everyone
city
has their
names.
own made-up place.
John Constantine is London, England, Liverpool.
He's going to real places.
New York, San Francisco. Yeah.
Well, it's because that's where there's lore, there's demonology, there's shit to play off.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why he's a great character, because they can just go back to history and the mystical shit and all the unknown.
Yeah.
They can all just throw that at them. They don't have to make superpowers, and they don't have to make up new stuff. It's all just demons and hell and angels and this. We didn't even talk about that. In the show, he has an angel on his shoulder essentially the whole time.
Yeah, and the angel is shown in the movie as well.
Yeah.
The movie, in the movie, the angel is played by Tilda.
The female.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, I can never remember her freaking name.
Yeah, she's the ancient one, and so she plays a
Yes.
She plays a magic user in 2 movies.
Yes, she does. Yeah, she's a good actor.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah.
Notable villains of his is so there's Nurgle, who is pretty much the first demon he ever had to face against. So one of his earliest stories, and a story where it becomes a theme throughout the movies, the TV show, the animated, in the comics. There was this one little girl that got away, pretty much.
Oh, Astra.
Astra, yeah.
Oh, poor Astra.
Yeah.
It plagued him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like, John Constantine has a chip on his shoulder. He's got this big guilt. If there's anything that motivates him, it's like, in most superheroes, like, Peter Parker has Ben, his Uncle Ben. Bruce Wayne has his parents. Clark has his entire planet. Well, John Constantine has Astra.
Yeah.
So
it's his driving force.
Yeah. What happened with Astra was during I think it was during one of his concerts or at a concert, he found out about, you might have read up some of this as well. So my knowledge on this is a little bit spotty, but all I know is that I think Astra was trying to summon a demon to protect her against people who were trying to pick on her. And the demon ended up going crazy and pretty much killing everybody that had done anything wrong to Astra. John Constantine needed to intervene and save Astra's soul, I think. To do that, he summoned a demon and let the demon possess himself. But the demon didn't listen to John Constantine and ended up fucking his soul and also damning Astra's soul to hell.
Yeah,
and so fill in the blanks what I'm missing there.
Yeah, so you had more details than I had.
Okay.
But I have a few to add to it.
Alright.
So there was everything that happened.
Yeah.
As you said.
Yeah.
Except for he also got a bunch of his friends to help him.
Oh, yes, yes.
And he kind of fucked all their
Yeah, they all, yeah.
Got them all killed and doomed to hell, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he had like 10 of his friends all help him to summon the demon to go into him.
Yes.
Once it was in him, it did not agree to the bargain. It was not under their control as they thought, and it went off the chains, killing Astra, dragging her soul to hell.
Yeah.
As they exorcised it from John, stole a piece of his soul, I think, pulled it to hell.
Yeah.
And essentially it was just a big clusterfuck of everyone he had got to help him died. Astra failed. He lost some of himself. It was just a fail. It was an all-around TPK fail.
Yeah. And that demon that possessed him that did all that, that's Nurgle.
Fuck you, Nurgle.
Yeah. You also have the First of the Fallen. I'll go over the First of the Fallen in a little bit. Okay. And he also has an arch enemy named Mr. E.
Mr. E.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Mr. E is another wizard, another spellcaster. He's blind. He's got his eyes gouged out by his father, I think. So, solid. Yeah, I think what the story is that Mr. E got his eyes plucked out of his skull by his own father for looking at a unsavory woman. That unsavory woman was his own mother.
Don't look at your mother.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so got blinded by his own father.
Alright, rough start.
Yeah. And John Constantine considers him like one of the most despicable magic users, like the most unsavory, like some of the things Mystery has done is like unspeakable kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
All this from a blind guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't even know the damage he's causing.
Yeah.
I wonder if with this magic he can actually see.
I don't know. Oh, well, that was Mystery has the ability to see the good and evil in people's souls. Yeah. So we know he has no eyes. He can see by seeing your soul, and he can see whether you have a good soul or an evil soul.
Just see him blue and red running around, basically.
Pretty much. It would suck if it would suck for him to try to walk the street because cars have no souls.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That would be a rough one.
Yeah.
Good thing magic users can probably fly.
Yeah. So his appearances outside of the comics, we've already talked in length to the Keanu Reeves movie that came out like
98,
2008,
2008 maybe?
Maybe 2008. Anyways, yeah, starring Keanu Reeves. A lot of it was a pretty popular movie. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Constantine movie starring Keanu Reeves.
We're all wrong.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
He's
also, thank you, Silver.
Yeah. He's also has we also talked in length to his live action show.
Yes.
Just called John Constantine. Is it called just Constantine or John Constantine? I think it's just Constantine.
Just Constantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a show that it only lasted one season, but apparently they're coming back for the second season.
Should be getting a second season. I'm not sure on timing for that, but it should be in the works.
Yeah.
And he's also got the CW cartoon starting soon here. I don't know if it's actually started yet. And it's based off the City of Demons movie.
Yes. So, funny enough, the actor who portrays John Constantine in his live-action show Constantine has been Constantine for all forms of media since that show. So, he's the voice actor for Constantine in the City of
Demons.
City of Demons. He's the voice of John Constantine in Justice League Dark.
We haven't even talked about Justice League Dark.
No.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so there's another animated movie called Justice League Dark where John Constantine teams up with Zatanna and Batman to fight some demons. That was a really good movie as well because Swamp Thing makes an appearance in there, and what's his name? There's a bunch of different magical lores. There's a
bunch.
Yeah, Feist, that's his name. Yeah, Feist shows up in there as well. And it's a good movie.
It's different than the normal DC Justice League movies.
Yes, but it's on the same line actually. It's on the same. It follows the same story as the Justice League War and Throne of Atlantis and Flashpoint Paradox.
Yep.
It's all from that. It's all from that same series, that same timeline, same voice actors and same animators and everything. But yeah, so the actor who portrayed Constantine in the live action show was a voice actor for Constantine and Justice League Dark and City of Demons. Voice actor for the show, the animated show. He portrayed John Constantine, Legends of Tomorrow.
I like when they stick with one.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
and they're able to carry him through all the different branches of content.
And he looks the part. If you look at how he's drawn, yes, he looks a lot like this one. He really looks like Sting from The Police. But this actor looks a lot like him too.
Yes, he does. They got a good pick for him.
Yeah.
The accent's good, like the role play, and
I like
the
this
sense
cover.
of all his mannerisms are good.
I really like that cover.
That one's a good one. He's always using different kinds of magic.
Yeah.
Like he will use everything and anything under the sun.
Yeah.
He's gone against some formidable foes too, and usually wins through trickery and con artists.
Yeah.
Either making him think he's there or not there, or he's already killed him. Oh. Do you know about that storyline?
Which one?
Who the hell does he beat? Darkseid. When
Oh,
John
really?
Constantine beats Darkseid?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't read that.
Okay, so
yeah, we're
there's
gonna
a lot going on.
We're gonna
there.
jump into notable stories, anyways. So, yeah. So what did you
Trying
read
to
on
remember this here. So it basically culminates in John dying to Darkseid in space, but through his last trick, as he dies, the magic spell he had done was to show that it had been universe Darkseid already conquered. Meanwhile, it was the real Earth 2 or whatever the hell it was. It was like the real Earth where everyone was at. Everyone was about to die and perish because Darkseid was coming to wipe them out. When Darkseid appeared, all he saw was John Constantine. And through all his amazement, he wanted to know how John survived, how John was here. And his only focus was John. So once he killed John, all he saw was ruin, the planet, and destruction, just death and destruction, like just, it was ruined. So, I've already won here. Time to go. And he leaves. And it was literally John sacrificed himself to save the entire world. And essentially beat Darkseid.
Neat.
Yeah. I forget the lead up to that, but that was the culmination of it.
Some of the normal stories that I wrote down here, I didn't write the names of the story, just what happened to them, just to give you some ideas of what possible future stories of John Constantine you could expect in various medias, like in the animated movies, live action show, whatever. So some of the things that I read up on. So so one thing, John Constantine is always depicted smoking cigarettes.
Like always.
Yeah. So obviously, at one point, he contracts lung cancer.
Yep.
So while he has lung cancer, he found out about this kid who had sold her soul, but this soul, I think it was one of his friends, sold his soul to the First of the Fallen. Now, the First of the Fallen is the most powerful of the demon lords.
Yeah.
So John wanted to save this person. So what he did is that he got this person to drink a bunch of holy water so that when the First of the Fallen came to collect his soul, when the time was up to collect the soul, he couldn't collect the soul. So the First of the Fallen got pissed off at John. That's what put John on the First of the Fallen's radar. Yeah. So...
And the First of the Fallen is an angel.
Yes.
Because the Fallen are essentially ones cast out of heaven, thrown down to earth, and stripped of their righteousness.
Yeah. I guess First of the Fallen would technically be Lucifer.
Yes.
So...
No, not technically. No, because
I know there is a Lucifer.
I was going to say, is he Marvel or DC Universe?
He's DC.
So then it can't be him.
Yeah.
Because he's essentially the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
Or the second most powerful thing in the DC Universe.
Yeah. Well, and that's what they were portraying, the First of the Fallen being that powerful. Like,
okay, then.
Yeah.
Maybe it is him.
Because
the show Lucifer is actually DC Universe. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I haven't checked out that show at all.
He's actually supposed to be like the most powerful thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so because it is, the First of the Fallen wants John Constantine's soul to suffer.
Yeah.
He wants him mangled but he doesn't want him just to go to hell. He wants him to suffer.
Yeah, he wants to drag his soul through the dirt on Earth.
Yeah.
Then through hell.
Yeah. So John devises a plot to save his soul as well as his own life. What he does is he ends up making a deal with two other demons. So there's three demon lords.
All right, so we go on here, and then we'll answer the chat question.
Yeah. So there's three demon lords. So you have the First of the Fallen, and then you have the other two. I didn't get their names. But John Constantine makes a deal with those two other lords, trading his soul to the both of them.
Yes.
But they found out that the First of the Fallen doesn't want his soul to go to hell, so they end up. The First of the Fallen wants him, and they didn't want to go into a war for John Constantine's soul against First of the Fallen because they would have just lost and gotten their ass kicked. So they cured his cancer to prevent him from dying. They didn't want him to die, so they cured his cancer so he wouldn't die. That's how he tricked these three demons to save his life, to cure him of cancer.
That's so good. Well, because did he owe his soul to the First of the Fallen?
I think the First of the Fallen just wants his soul.
It wanted his soul. So
It
what he
didn't
did
have-
was he went to the other two and he sold them each his soul.
That's right.
So they then had to fight over it. Neither of them could collect.
That's right.
And then knowing that the other one wanted it, but they had rights to it,
Yeah.
they said, well, fuck it, we don't want rights to it.
Yeah.
So they basically said, you're free. Here.
Yeah.
Now he's up for grabs for First of the Fallen again, but they're off the hook.
That's right. That's right.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Right. So what do you?
Alright, so as I listen and read up on the Constantine character, I gotta ask, did Keanu miss the mark on the character portrayal? He didn't seem as witty and comical as the Sting-looking bloke from live action. Didn't have the bright wit and charm. I love the character in general, but I feel like Keanu had a different take on the personality.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, Keanu'd it. Like, Keanu is always Keanu in every movie he Keanu's.
We may have enjoyed the movie when the movie came out, but looking back on it and knowing more about the character, the movie's shit.
Yeah, because we didn't have this show 14 years ago.
That's right.
So now we have something else to compare it to that's way better.
That's right. Yeah, Keanu. Like
at the time, it was good.
Yeah. Like, well, even
but it was still Keanu at the time. We
yeah.
just didn't have anyone else portraying John Constantine.
Also back then, Keanu is not the Keanu we have right now. No. Back then, Keanu was not a great actor. He wasn't very charismatic. He was very dull, monotone. Didn't express a lot. Didn't emote a lot.
He was still Matrix living high.
That's right.
Like Matrix banged like so high for him.
Yeah.
He rode Neo into everything he did.
Yeah.
And so like based on the fact that I had nothing to compare it to 14 years ago, I liked it, and it was the only John Constantine I ever met, ever read about, ever heard about. So I liked it. Now that I have something to compare it to, no, it was a horrible rendition of Constantine.
Yeah, I mean, like Keanu tried to portray his torment, but he just came off as impassionate.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
It reminded me of his football movie.
I'm so brooding. It was bad.
You remember The Replacements? I just got the feel of The Replacements, the football one of Keanu. That was the John Constantine. It was like, yeah, whatever, I'm just a backup.
Pretty much.
My soul's fucked anyway, whatever. Like,
pretty much.
At the end of this movie, I clock it.
Yeah. So, another story that I read up on John Constantine I thought was very interesting and made me fucking laugh.
What's that?
So, he once blackmailed God.
What?
So this is years later, but he's traded his soul back and forth. Like we're talking about, his soul is in shambles. He's used it as currency so many times.
It's like when you pull the pocket lint out of like the bottom of the pocket, and it's like, well, what do you got left? And it's got like you got like a nickel, a dime, some lint, and it's like, here's my soul. Yeah,
pretty much. So he ends up invoking God, and he ends up having a conversation with God. He ends up like a sit-down conversation with God,
like Morgan Freeman.
Sure. But he had over a cup of tea. He had a conversation with God. Okay. And straight up told him that if he goes to hell because of his soul and whatever he's done whatever he's done in the past, summoning demons and whatnot, he knows he's going to hell. But you told God, you know what's going to happen when I go to hell. I have the power to take over hell, and I can shut down the doors to hell, preventing any more souls to go into hell. I could raise the dead and bring demons to the surface world. I could wreak havoc in hell, and you know that I have the power to do it. God looked at him and knows that John Constantine can do everything he said, so he made it so John Constantine won't go to hell. He cured his soul.
Fine, you can come to our team.
Yeah.
He's definitely the guy I picked last in dodgeball.
Yes.
Definitely the guy I picked last in dodgeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then traded.
Yes. But he's definitely the one that
you want on your team.
Yeah.
He's definitely the one that you want to sub in
at
some point in the game.
He's like
your pinch hitter?
No, I was thinking of more football with Tom Brady and what's the coach's name?
I don't know.
Anyways, he's like him. John Constantine is the weaselly, sneaky guy who will figure out the cheapest, trickiest ways to get the victory, the dirtiest ways to get the victory, but he'll get that victory.
He'll do it.
Yeah.
He'll find a way.
Yeah. He'll bend the rules or figure out a loophole.
Kill someone, sure.
Well, like I said, he's not.
Sacrifice him? Okay.
Yeah, sacrifice, yes. Kill,
Straight
not so
kill?
much.
No.
No, he's not the Punisher, and he is. He's got a good heart. He's got a good soul. He does truly want to help people. If there's anything that I got out of reading these comics, like when somebody is in need, John Constantine can't just turn his back on him. He has that hero complex. He has that compulsion to help people in need.
Mm-hmm.
It's just his method of doing it. Like Superman has his super strength and speed, and Batman has his intellect and his gadgets and his money. John Constantine has dark arts.
Magic.
Yeah. Black
Faith.
magic.
And faith.
Yeah.
Faith in not always good stuff, but faith.
Yeah.
That this will work.
Yeah.
That this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
This will get the job done, and the only fucking way to do it.
Yeah.
And he believes that, and that's the thing that lets everyone forgive him. That's his redeeming quality. That he's like, I know I did bad, but that was the only way.
Yeah.
And even though they're like, well, there was another way, they know that John believed that there wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's through his belief that is like, okay, fine, you're good.
Yeah.
So that's why I love John as a character, because he's just human. Right? But he goes toe to toe with everything in between.
Most powerful demons.
Everything.
Yeah.
And he's died a few times.
Yeah.
But he comes back.
Yeah, he finds a way. Finds loopholes.
Yeah.
Like, Batman is science smart. So, I would say John Constantine is as street smart as Batman is science smart.
I don't know if I'd say he's smart in general. I'd say he's resourceful.
Yes.
Like MacGyver.
Yes. Yes, resourceful would be a better way of saying it.
Because, like, he walks right into Papa Midnight's place a few times and like, bitching at him and this and that. Before he knows it, he's getting stabbed, poisoned, knocked out, hit over the head. It's like, you are not smart. You fucking idiot. You've done this like 3 times. Like, literally in the show, he does it like 3 times. Walks up to him, shaking his finger in his face. Before he knows it, just shut up, John.
That comes with the confidence that he'll figure a way out.
I know, but he always gets sucker punched first. It's like, oh god. Yes, like life in Jurassic Park, it finds a way.
Yes. But that's all I have written on John Constantine. I don't know if you have more to talk about on him.
Well, why don't we cover some of the spells or some of his biggest things he's done? What you know of any?
No, I didn't write any down, to be honest with you.
Well, okay, so one from the show that I was watching recently was, he had gotten. Okay, so basically they just got rid of this vampire type succubus thing that had been stealing children of this one family's bloodline, actually. First, it stole husband and wife's newborn right out of like a monastery of sorts. So there's a bunch of nuns kind of watching over it. And then as they're kind of looking into this, all of a sudden, this mother and father's son, he is seeing some town girl, and she is pregnant, and all of a sudden, their baby disappeared. Not only does the father and mother just find out that their kid has a baby, that they're both gone, this thing's been stealing it. John tracks it down, finds it. Once they finally banish this thing, get the child back, some other random demon creatures chasing John and the nun, and they're running with a baby, and everyone's upstairs above the monastery, all waiting to get out. Well, she turns to John, and he's like, well, you know what, like, I don't think we're getting out of here, like, we can't outrun it, I don't know what to do, nothing we can do is going to do it, I think this is the end. And she said, well, remember you said, John, we got to do this at all costs. You know, at all costs, we got to save the children. That's what John said. So she shoots him in the stomach and leaves him as bait. Turns and runs. I'm sorry, John. And it was an old fling of his, actually, who used to, from the band days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So there's a rekindling connection, and that's why he had gone to help, because it was in Colombia, like a different country. So he got summoned over there because she had originally kept appearing as a ghost through magic to him. And he's like, oh, she's not actually here. Someone else walks in the room as they're having a conversation, and they're like, what the fuck? He's like, no, she's not here, and she disappears. He's like, well, I gotta go to Colombia and help her. So while he's there, this is all happening. She shoots him, and he's like, well, fuck, I'm bleeding out and dying. This thing's coming for him. He does a spell. Summons a demon, and barters for it to possess him. through it possessing him, it was able to heal him. So the thing gets basically right up to his face, and he says, "I'm pissed off. I'm already taken." You know, and this creature demon just fucks off. And then, too bad this demon that he inhabited was a king demon, a demon king of sorts, and basically, anytime it got riled up, it made John black out. It took over, and John woke up with a bunch of blood all over him and bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
So then that was another line where they had to go down and exorcise John.
Yeah.
So I just know that was one of the things that he's done recently in the show.
And that's why a lot of people don't like, a lot of characters don't like John Constantine, because they see him as reckless.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes, because he will do things and then deal with the consequences later.
Yeah.
Not well.
No.
Alright, so how long is the show until we need a tank? A little bit longer here. We're almost done. We're wrapping up. So the next few weeks here, we got Kenny subbing in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next week we're doing Wolverine. Well, not you guys will be doing Wolverine. I won't be here.
Yep. And give us about 10 seconds here, and we'll be right back. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Miscommunication from a man in the chair here. So, for our next few weeks here, we got Wolverine. Mitch is going to be subbing out.
Yeah.
Kenny will be back in. After Wolverine, who are we going to do here? Deathstroke?
Yeah. I might be here for that one. I might not. It's my birthday, so I might not be here.
Okay. So, debatable. We'll see if Mitch is able to make it. Deathstroke will be on the table regardless, I guess.
Yeah.
Following 2 weeks, do we have anyone from the audience that wants to contribute who we should do in the next few weeks? I know. Oh, new Joker movie came out?
We can definitely do Joker. We've seen the movie. Did you see the movie?
I will see it this week.
Good.
I will be seeing the new Joker movie this week with Joaquin Phoenix. I've heard great things about it.
I recommend it. Watch.
Okay, so we need a filler episode here, guys. So we got Wolverine next week. The following week's going to be Deathstroke. The next one's up for grabs, followed by Joker. Do you guys have any other input on who we should do? That's a great input there. Thank you, Silver. Thanks for joining us here, Ninja. Hope you tune in next week. You guys have anyone that you'd want to see in about 3 weeks from now?
We can do Jessica Jones.
It's on the table. Well, we'll give them another 60 seconds here to give us some input. In the meantime, I guess with Wolverine, we're kicking it back over to Marvel.
Yeah.
And that'll be good, because after that, back over to DC with Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone that you really want to do going into the next few weeks?
Any Marvel characters that I really want to do. I'll have to think on it. I'll have 1 to 2 weeks to think about it. So
well, I know you mentioned Lobo. Should we kind of throw him on the burner?
I mentioned it because I'm not a big fan of the character either.
Oh, I see. I see. Scapegoating characters on us here.
So Ranger is mentioning Harley, but we're going to do that in February after the
Yeah, so Harley is on the agenda. We were just holding off till Birds of Prey. We want to kind of get a little bit more out there, more to talk about. So thank you for the suggestion. That is awesome. That we'll be doing that later. Let's see who else we got here. Okay, I know Silver mentioned he wanted Flash.
We could definitely do Flash.
Yeah?
Start with Barry Allen.
I was going to say, we're going to need to split Flash up.
Yes.
Okay. So in terms of that, we'll do Flash in 3 weeks. We got Wolverine, Deathstroke, stick with DC, going Flash, and then back to Joker. So we got a few DC in the row.
That's fine.
That's okay. That's okay. November can be the DC month, and December, I forgot we have another month there. So December can be more Marvel.
Yeah.
Alright, like I said, guys, if you got any other suggestions, feel free to let us know in any weeks to come. Next week, we'll have the rerun of this going probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then Wolverine starts live at 8. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to follow us. Subscribe if you want to.
Frost.
And, ooh, Killer Frost, that's a good one.
Killer
Know what? Why don't we have December kick off with Killer Frost?
The winter theme.
Yeah, I like it. I like the theme here, guys.
I like it.
Okay, so You got a few weeks here for Killer Frost, so make sure you stay on board and watch for all our posts on Instagram. These episodes will be up on YouTube. We have about 20, 25 episodes up now on YouTube with our Superman one missing. That one will be up again in later days. Technical difficulties, shit happens.
Yeah, yeah. Check us out. Check us out on YouTube. Justin and I are both on Instagram. Thank you. I'm also on Twitter. And you.
Yep, we got Nerdforge on Twitter as well. So remember, Nerdforge is our company. World Collides is our show. We have a couple other shows coming soon, such as our D&D Tavern Tales. It'll be our one-off adventures, along with a campaign, hopefully in January. We'll get some game nights up there as well. If you want any, stream nights, Mario Kart, some of the old Mario Party, the Smash Bros tournaments. We're always down to do some of those. And if there's anything else that you guys have suggestions or you want to see, feel free to let us know.
Until then, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep. Adios. Have a good night.
Cheers.